Good morning, it's great to have your company this Tuesday the 27th of April. I'm Jessica Ramir, a market analyst with Bell Direct. Well, stocks on Wall Street closed mostly higher on Monday. The S&P 500 lifted 0.2%, notching a new all-time high, while the Nasdaq gained 0.9%. Now, Tesla reported results after the market closed. Quarterly numbers beat expectations. Revenue was up 74% to $10.4 billion, with $101 million of that being a positive impact from selling Bitcoin from Jan to March. However, after the market was closed, Tesla shares fell on profit taking despite the earnings and revenue results beating forecasts. The company also significantly made a quarterly net profit record of $438 million, thanks to car sales jumping 100% over the year. It's also important to note the biggest week of earnings season in the US is amongst us. About a third of the S&P 500 companies will update investors on how their businesses have performed over the past 3 months up to March 31. Now, some of the biggest tech companies in the world report later this week, including Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet. Now, what to watch today? It should be a positive day for the market. Earlier, the futures were suggesting a lift of 0.1%, which could rub out half of yesterday's fall, given the market lost 0.2% yesterday. It is important to note, though, guys and girls, it's important to reflect that so far this month we are on pace for the best monthly gain in 6 months. The market is up 3.8% so far in April. Tech is up the most. Energy is down the most. Separately, it's worth noting commodity moves were mild overnight ahead of the Federal Reserve meeting, so the focus will be on company news. And speaking about company news, South32, S32 doubled their cash in the March quarter while reporting record alumina from Brazil and Australian Manganese year to date. In other news, Bingo, BIN, agreed to a takeover by Macquarie, MQG, by Macquarie's infrastructure business for $3.45 minus a special dividend of 11.7 cents. And there's 3 considerations today to consider, girls and guys. Firstly, Perth exits their lockdown and the federal government will review Australia's COVID-19 vaccine rollout. Secondly, the Aussie dollar is trading at its highest level that it reached in Feb, and that's an equal 3-year high. And that simply means our exports, think commodities, will be more expensive. So overnight, it's quite worthwhile noting the Aussie dollar reached 78 US cents. The third consideration is a big one. The end of financial year, it's 2 months away. That means expect tax loss selling. This is where investors sell down stocks that have already fallen heavily over the past financial year. Now, investors look to sell stocks with large losses to offset gains that they've made in their portfolio in the financial year to date. So simply expect selling to mount in stocks that have heavily underperformed and fallen by double digits this financial year to date. And that includes A2 Milk, Mesoblast in the financials, IOOF, IFL, AMP in the energy space, AGL and Origin Energy, ORG. Tech stocks, watch tax loss selling in Appen, APX, and Kogan, KGN. Infrastructure stocks, I'd be looking out for CIMIC, CIM, AZJ, and ASL. That's Austal. Gold companies, expect tax loss selling potentially in Resolute Mining, Gold Row Resources, GOR, and St Barbara, SBM. And also keep an eye on some of those most traded stocks from yesterday. Separately, at Bell Direct yesterday, the most traded stocks included Dicker Data, DDR, which is in a sharp downtrend after falling to a 2-week low. A VanEck Vectors Gold Miners ETF, GDX. Looking at the chart, it simply tells us that GDX shares this security is really starting to break out into an uptrend, so I think that could be one to watch. And lastly, Galaxy Resources GXY was the third most traded stock at Bell Direct yesterday, and they continue to rally and break out into a nice uptrend. And last but not least, trading ideas that could be worth a look. Dr. Care Anywhere, DOC, was restamped as a Bell Potter buy stock, a $1.95 price target after reporting record revenue. Secondly, Earth Moving Company, Emeco, EHL, was also reiterated as a Bell Potter buy, a slimmer price target for EHL, $1.50, but that still implies almost 70% upside in a year. Now, Bell Potter thinks that the market is still heavily undervaluing this stock. And lastly, But not least, bullish charting signals were identified in Rhythm Biosciences, RHY, and INR, as well as Capral CAA. And that's according to Trading Central. I'm Jessica Ramir with Bell Direct. Stay safe, happy trading. Bye for now.